y'all, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. Hi, my name is Brooke, and on my channel I like to do personal finance videos and lifestyle vlogs. So if you like that kind of content, I would love to have you subscribe. Today is another Finance Friday, and it is actually payday, so that is so exciting. So I am going to do a paycheck breakdown, and the reason why I want to do this paycheck breakdown is because one, I got a small raise, so we have a little bit more money to play with. Not that much, honestly, I think like $30. And two, we have a lot bigger expenses that we have to account for because we have our mortgage payment that is, I want to say like 3 times our usual mortgage payment. So yeah, we've got some bigger fixed expenses, but the small raise helps a little bit offset that. And I also have some bonus income that I get to also budget with me on that. So I wrote everything down in my trusty notebook here. Before I give any numbers, I do want to preface that my husband and I do have 100% combined finances, and we put all of our money into a joint account, and then we pay our bills from that, and we give ourselves individual spending money each month for that. So if you want to see like my monthly breakdown of all my bills, you can check out my monthly budgets. But in this video, I'm just going to talk about this paycheck period on May 15th. And all of the numbers that you're going to see are also after taxes, insurance, and 401k contributions. So this is all the money that just hits our bank account. It doesn't account for any of that other stuff. So without further ado, let's get into the numbers. In this pay period, we are bringing home a total of $5,953.12. And I am a zero-based budgeter, so you know that I really care about the dollars and cents. I put them all to work. I make sure that every dollar has a job. And so what I like to do is we are what is known as 1 month ahead, which means that we have enough money to cover all of our expenses, everything like that. So when we get paid, because we get paid twice a month, I like to break up our larger bills, and then I set aside that money. And then by the end of the month, we have enough to go ahead and cover next month's bills. So we are paying for next month's bills because we already have this month's bills covered from last month's paychecks. So that's how I do it. And so we are getting 1 month ahead on our brand new mortgage. Now, this is going to surprise some people because if you have seen my previous videos, you know that our previous mortgage was a very, very low amount compared to what we have now. But I will say that I feel comfortable with this number. I am still within the range of what I want to pay on all of our home expenses and everything like that. So I'm not stressed about it, thankfully, but it is like just kind of crazy to see this number. So we are setting aside half of what we need for our mortgage payment next month, and that is $1,500. Now, this does include escrow, so we do have our escrow account in this, and that is including paying for our yearly homeowners insurance and our property taxes. So we don't pay for that. We roll that into our mortgage, and that goes into the holding escrow account, and then they will pay that when it comes due. So we have gone ahead and done that. We also, because we were not putting down 20%, we do have to pay PMI, property mortgage insurance, and that rate differs depending on what your credit score is. And so that is also in this part. So we also have to account for that. And so total, we are setting aside $1,500 for our mortgage. For our utilities, we are setting aside $250. And the reason why we're setting aside this is because this house, one, is quite a bit bigger from our old house, but two, we also have a gas payment because our hot water heater uses gas. And so we do have a new bill on top of our bills that we've paid before. So I had to up the utilities to go ahead and cover the new bill that we are paying. This also includes our pest control. We actually did switch our pest control. Like last week we switched. We had somebody come to our door, and they roped us in, and it's actually a little bit cheaper than our previous service. So we're saving $35 on that. Part of my rich life is not having to worry about bugs. Yeah. So $250 for utilities. And then each month we like to set aside money to go into our Roth IRAs, and we are maxing them out. The annual contribution limit for 2026 is $7,500, and sometimes it stays the same from year to year, sometimes it goes up. You just have to check and see what that is. But that means that we set aside $625 each paycheck in order to cover our Roth IRAs. In our savings, we have a mix of long-term savings, and we also have sinking funds. And the sinking fund system that we've been using has been the sinking fund system I've been using for like 4 or 5 years now. And it just really helps give me the peace of mind that if I want to go out and buy something that's not necessarily within our budget, like I'm fine with that because we have our sinking funds and we can pull from them when we need to, whenever we want to buy stuff. So definitely check out my video on sinking funds if you don't know what that is. And, try it out for yourself. I have a link always in my description for the bank that I use, which is Ally, and they allow you to make buckets inside of your savings account. They are a high yield savings account, and you can name those buckets. And so I like to do that because then digitally I can also see, not just on my spreadsheet, but I can also see that within my account, that all of our money is going into our different sinking funds. And so for savings, this time we are setting aside $805. And then in giving, we are Christians and we do believe in giving to different charitable causes, to local food banks, to people in our area that need money. We want to be generous because we know that we're very blessed with all of the financial stuff that we have going on in our lives. And we know that this is a hard time to be an American, to be honest. And we just want to really make sure that we continue to give back to our community, so that we can help other people that just are not in the same financial place that we are. And so for that, we are setting aside $600 for giving. In debt, the only debts that we are currently paying off is my husband's student loans. Now, with the sale of our house, I did talk about last week how we are going to go ahead and pay those off. But we still need to set aside our normal monthly payment because after everything settles, we won't probably get the money to pay off the student loans until next month, completely free and clear from all of the banks and everything like that. So I'm just waiting to pay them off next month once all the money comes through. And so that means we are still setting aside our normal payment that we do each month, and that is $209.08. That's half of what we're putting aside. So that's what came out of this check. So if we add all of that up, that left us with a total of $1,964.04. And we put all of our spending, all of our daily spending on credit cards. And this is going to roll over into our credit card bucket within our checking account. So we do have buckets within our checking account as well, which is really nice. And we set aside specifically money in our checking accounts for credit card payments. So we always know that we have enough money to pay off our credit cards in full. We never pay interest on our credit cards. We always pay them off by the statement balance, and we never get charged interest. So that is a really nice way to do it. But that means we're putting away $1,964.04 into that credit card holding fund bucket. We also have some credit cards that come due at different times. So we have 2 credit cards that come due at the first of the month, and then we have 3 credit cards that come due at the end of the month. And so we kind of spread out our spending between those credit cards. 1, to maximize how many credit card points we get, but 2, so we can also just make sure that we can pay off those credit cards after we get our next paycheck, and so on and so forth. But again, we are always making sure we have complete money to pay off our credit cards. We do not pay anything in interest. And we'll also, for this pay period, have to pull out a little bit in our sinking funds in order to pay off our credit cards. And that was a total of $590.79 that we are pulling out of our sinking funds to go ahead and pay off the credit cards that come due in the next few weeks. So that's our total paycheck breakdown from our regular paychecks. Now I'm going to move on to my bonus. I think I talked about this recently, and I've been waiting on this bonus for 2 months now, which is kind of crazy how long it took. But back in December of last year, I had a referral that got hired at my company. And when they do that, we have a $1,000 referral bonus. And so after taxes and insurance and all that good stuff. Well, actually, I don't think I had to pay insurance out of my bonus, but I do have to pay taxes on it. And I think they also take out for my 401k as well. So after all of that is said and done, the actual money that hit my bank account for my bonus was $582.70. 582 was actually more than I originally thought. I originally thought I was going to get 550. So, very nice. And so with this, I did do an extra amount of giving of $60. And we haven't put into our brokerage account in the past few months because obviously we've been putting all of our money towards going to buy this new house. And I'm really grateful that we did that, but we haven't been putting any money into our joint brokerage. And thankfully, the markets for the past few months, while they have been very volatile, they've been pretty good. They've been holding strong and we're still up year over year. But I decided that I wanted to put some of my money from my bonus into our joint brokerage since we haven't been funding our joint brokerage in a while. And so I decided to put $290 towards our joint brokerage, which is about 50% of this bonus. What I like to do is I do like to think about like my money in percentages. Like whenever I get a bonus, like this percentage of money goes to this percentage of money goes to this, and this percentage goes to this. So regardless of the amount that I'm actually getting through a bonus, I know that I'm still putting money towards different things. And finally, I did put a little into my spending. So I wanted to pad my sinking fund because my personal spending sinking fund got depleted when I bought the BTS tickets. And so I've been not only having to pay that back because I borrowed against it. I know it's crazy. My system is a little bit complex, but in my brain it makes sense. So I had to pay that back, but I also wanted to build it up a little bit just in case there was anything that I wanted to buy within the next few months for myself. So I put $91 of my bonus into my singing fund, and then I also set aside $120 to get a haircut. I don't get a haircut, but probably every 3 months. I think the last time I got a haircut was in February. So I am due for a haircut. I like to keep my hair at a certain length. I used to have my hair like super long and I hate it. In high school, I had my hair super short. I like having it short because my hair is super thick. And so I need to get my hair cut on a regular basis or else it gets too long because it also grows really fast. And so I set aside $120 for my haircut. Like I don't play around with my haircuts. I have had bad experiences in the past of like being like, I'm going to save money and have this person who is not a hairdresser cut my hair, and it was bad. It was a bad experience. So I have been burned by that. So I am okay with spending more on my haircuts. But again, I only get my haircuts like every quarter, so it's really not that bad. But that's what I'm doing with $120 of my bonus. And so that left me with about $22 of my bonus left, and I just went ahead and put that into our travel because I know that when we go and have our travel fun next week in Seattle, that I just don't want to like worry about being like, oh my gosh, I can't afford going to this fun thing that I saw, or I can't eat this delicious snack because I don't have enough money in my travel. So I just went ahead and set that extra $22 towards travel. And so that is all of my bonus budgeted out and our paycheck budgeted out. So that's really crazy. There is some extra like side hustle income that I've been making recently. And it is at a poll. So I watch this other YouTuber named Sandra, and she is a occupational therapist and she does budgeting content on YouTube as well. I follow her, so definitely follow her back. I will put her channel in the description below, but I really like her. And she turned me on to Adipole, and this one is actually one of the only ones that I found where I actually get money from like doing it. Like I've tried Ibotta, I've tried other things and like free cash, all that stuff. And one, the payouts are crazy high. You have to like get a minimum of $25 when you're making like pennies on this stuff. But with Adipole, you only have to do $2.50 to cash out. And so I've actually made a pretty good amount of money on that so far this month. And I also have been selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace. So in total, on side hustle money, not just from my bonus, but in just general side hustle money, this month I made over $100. So if you want me to talk about like why I want to do more side hustle fund money and that kind of stuff, and like talk about where that money goes, I can make a video on that. But I have my add a poll link down below if you want to do that. You don't have to. You can also like go and do Sandra's link, but honestly, do somebody's link if you're going to sign up, because they also get a good referral bonus from having you sign up for it. And I find it like gamifying like side hustles, so I like doing that. You can also, like, if you like to play phone games, you can also get paid to play phone games. One of the phone games that I have been on a kick recently is bingo. I love bingo. This is so random, but I really do love bingo. I think I'll be like one of those old ladies who like wants to go to bingo night like all the time. But I just find it so fun doing bingo. And so I never try and like spend money on apps. Like last year I got into the phone games and it was really bad. I did end up spending like $100 on apps last year for like things that, you know, obviously like all of these apps are like just like in-app like money that you use, and obviously it goes away super fast. So I am holding myself to no spending on the apps, because like that defeats the purpose of like making the money to like play these games and make the money through Adapole. You can also like do it with Fetch, and you can like get points on Fetch. But I just feel like with Fetch, one, like it just takes so long to get like a $50 payout from Fetch. So I kind of don't use Fetch as much, but Adapole has been like really good. And like I said, I made like $100 in side hustle income this month, and about $50 of that has come from Adapole. So I'm really impressed. So you can sign up for my link, or you can sign up through Sandra's link, but just sign up through somebody's link, because that will give them a little bit of a boost on their stuff. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope that making these videos helps you understand like how you can budget your money, how you can make sure that you're a month ahead and that you never are worrying about having enough money to cover a bill and still be able to spend on the things that you love. That's one of the things that I really like about budgeting, is it gives me the freedom to spend my money on the things that I actually like and not just on the things that I have to do. Comment down below if you are 1 month ahead, or how do you like to do it. And we are so close to 600 subscribers, y'all, so please make sure to share my channel. Please, please, please. I really would love to get to 600 subscribers, because my goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by my birthday. My birthday is in October, so, you know, we've got about 4 or 5 months to get there. So I think we can do it, but please, please, please share my content and like and subscribe. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye, y'all.